It's about time you showed up, Star Fox.
Let's rock and roll!
Well, good. I got some things to say. First of all...
It's about time you showed
no,
up,
no,
Fox.
I already did that.
Do a barrel roll!
Where'd you come from?
Do a barrel roll! Do a barrel roll! Do a barrel roll!
Really? Are you gonna do this?
Do a barrel roll! Do a barrel roll!
Fox.
Star Fox, Nintendo's other neglected sci-fi game. If Metroid is Alien, then Star Fox is Star Wars. I'm not even fucking exaggerating.
It's a trap!
I used to think that was the inspiration, but apparently it was this. Inari Okami, the spirit of the fox in the Shinto religion, a distant relative of another canine spirit, Amaterasu. Isn't Eastern culture fascinating? Dotted along the pathways of the Inari shrine that a young Miyamoto would regularly visit were a series of arches which implanted the idea for the space-based rail shooter we've all come to know and love. Although I could still totally picture Miyamoto being a Star Wars fan. Growing up, I always wanted to get into the series. It just looked so cool and appealing and just so Nintendo. It's just totally them. It's like Star Wars with anthropomorphic animals that are somehow equal parts cute and badass. I mean, Wolf is supposed to be this ruthless Bond villain, but all I see is a big fluffy puppy.
Can't let you do that, Star Fox.
Of all Nintendo's spurned middle children, it's polled the most popular. Miyamoto in particular seems to harbor a hard-on for the furry franchise. At least I thought so until I read this quote, which could indicate why it's one of the franchises that be represented in Smash more than its own hood. I feel bad for any big fans of the series out there because there's so little to choose from. I mean, if I presented you with all mainline Metroid games, including the remakes, you'd still have 7 good-ass motherfucking games to play. DK has at least 6. Even Sonic has a clutch of well-aged classics. But Star Fox, alright, the original SNES game is pretty hard to revisit, unless you're really into geometry.
Do a barrel roll!
The sequel is hard to play for the same reason, and the fact that it just came out 22 years too late on a retro emulator mini console that still eludes store shelves. And why even play the first game when you can play its beloved reboot, Star Fox 64. Adventures is a Zelda-style title par excellence, while Assault is its traditional companion piece, and a damn solid effort. Command offered the traditional gameplay for the first time on a handheld, and then we had to wait a long time before Zero, which was just a reboot of a reboot weighed down by the Wii U gamepad, and the rest of the Wii U for that matter. So 4 games. 4 games for a nearly 30-year-old Miyamoto-spawned fan-favorite franchise.
It's round! It's round!
What horizons lie ahead for Star Fox? I obviously don't know, but I do know what I want it to be, so I'll just discuss that. Now, I'm not into rail shooters. I mean, I'm not crazy about shooters in general, but man do I hate the on-rails aspect. It's just so constricting. But while I do think games can deviate from their formulas to create fresher and greater experiences, there will always be a voice for the originator, especially for that base audience. So here's what I think can be done with classic Star Fox. Switching from first person to third person, new power-ups like a rechargeable hyper beam, the control stick could control the throttle while the bumpers control the rudders. You know, like every other game where you fly a plane. And I did have this other idea. What if we have the classic 4-pilot team and select between them like in the conflict games? When blasting through the campaign on single player, what if you can switch between Fox and Falco and Crystal or whoever's on the team? In corridor mode, each pilot would have a prescribed route like always, but once you switch over to that pilot, you can deviate from the route. All it would mean is Fox now also gets his own prescribed route. And the same goes for all range mode, which is of course more flexible. I'm actually hopeful that this could be implemented because the groundwork would already be laid considering multiplayer co-op is practically a necessity given the current hardware. Play the campaign with up to 4 friends. It's bound to happen. I mean, if it didn't, that's a huge fucking oversight. Then there's multiplayer modes like Battle Royale, Teams, Racing, Objective, and online matches can even have those indicative dialogue boxes at the bottom of the screen whenever someone speaks into their mic. And finally, a big-ass roster. Why should Star Fox only Star Fox? Like I said, this series has such a colorful cast of critters, so put it to even better use than 2 or Command did. Let's talk about Star Fox 64's branching world design. For those of you that don't know, you had 15 levels. You start at Corneria and finish at Venom, with 5 other levels in between. Each level has multiple entrances and exits. This led to 25 possible routes for a single playthrough. The campaign can be played in every possible way, and if a level is scored perfectly, a medal is awarded. Medals unlock bonus features like a sound test, multiplayer options, and an expert mode. Now this is all great and incredibly unique and creative and ingenious, and Star Fox 64 is a masterpiece whose legacy I will never question. And even though it was the original that set this precedent, I really hate this as the series formula. I hate not being able to 100% in one campaign. I hate that one playthrough takes less than an hour. I hate starting over at Corneria if I lose all my lives. And I hate not knowing which one of these is f***ing canon. Look, I love Wind Waker, but I don't want every Zelda game to be about sailing and pirates.
Do a barrel roll.
So that's classic rail shooter Star Fox. But now, no more rails. We're going off-rail. Way off. Star Fox Adventures opened a brave new world for the series that has since remained abandoned. And while Rare's final Nintendo game started life as an original IP that was nothing like a Star Fox game, I think it's only natural for us as gamers to desire an open-world action-adventure style game from any series capable of executing it. If you've seen my Metroid episode, you already have a good idea of what I really want from a Star Fox adventure. We want that open world, open space game. I want to explore the Lilat system at my leisure, with each planet segmented into its own level, traversable by air, land, sea, and foot, when applicable. This of course leads me to a big detail. No rails. Maybe a few sequences that are so climactic that they blatantly serve as nostalgic throwbacks, but otherwise, an open world requires manual controls. I also think they should integrate the vehicles into each other. One machine that transforms into the R-Wing, Landmaster, Walker, and Marine. I mean, they even look alike. I was surprised they aren't already all the same Transformer. And I want them to be docked in the carrier bay of a fully explorable Great Fox. Fuck yes. The mothership can serve as a home base where you can save, stock, heal, upgrade, accept missions, all kinds of shit. I don't know about actually flying the thing, bitchin' as that sounds, but you can fast travel between planets you've already visited, explore the whole interior, and fly in and out with the R-Wing to freely explore outer space or descend down to a planet. Now that is a Star Fox adventure.
Do a barrel roll.
Will you cut that out?
As for the narrative, I'm not gonna talk about my ideas for where they could take the story because I don't do that, and also, I don't fucking have any. But I just want to point out that they could take it somewhere. I was pleasantly surprised to find out just how deep the shit goes. And look, it's not soapy, but it's definitely kind of a soap opera. It doesn't have the tone, but it has like the structure. It's not a soap opera per se, it's a space opera. Oh god damn it! I mean, it's a whole zoo of characters connected by blood, camaraderie, rivalry, vengeance, betrayal, and even love affairs. But hey, I don't blame them. I ain't usually into cartoons of other species, but Crystal's got that whole Raquel Welch thing going on, and it just makes the Dope Man very confused.
Dreaming on a bus.
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me? Is this thing working?
What are you doing here? What's he saying?
Want Peppy too?
Yeah, no, Pepe's not here.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, no, he's fine. Look, I'm not even supposed to be flying this thing. I only have a Class C license. But I had to tell you something, Star Fox. You deserve better. You're one of the most loved Nintendo games, and you're treated lower than dirt. Lower than Metroid, and Samus already gets paid less.
Jeez, I can't believe it.
I guess you're good for something.
You were in my dream.
Oh my god, Crystal baby, I was just about to tell you the same thing.
Jeez Louise, these guys don't quit.
Hey, shut up, Bird!
Shut up, Bird! You're dead meat, pal.
Hey! Okay, guys.
So, Star Fox, here is my wishful vision for your future on the Switch. An all-new classic Star Fox game. A big, brand new, badass Star Fox adventure. And, that Star Fox Metroid crossover I mentioned once before.
Wow, I'm actually impressed.
It's not over, Fox.
I'll do my best.
Okay, great. Now, how do I get out of here?
Okay, guys, we're entering Corneria City now. Let's take out that weapon.
Wait, what? No. I can't turn this thing. Why can't I turn this thing around?
Too late. Game over, pal.
Oh shit. Oh god. Oh fuck. What did I do? Oh god.
This happens because you're reckless. Be more careful.
I don't need a lecture fixin'. I need a parachute. Are we gonna die?
Say your
Are we gonna
prayers.
fucking die, man?
I guess this is
Oh
goodbye.
shit. I'm gonna
Show
puke.
that's
Oh fuck.
rock and roll.
Oh god. Hey, does this thing have a radio?